Hello, Earth. Welcome to the 19th episode of Making Cell, a series of videos where I record myself designing and implementing a programming language and environment called Cell. So, if you want to know what this is about and you're just tuning in, I recommend you jump to episode 1 or you go to this link here, which I will paste in the description, which is basically, the GitHub repository for Cell. So we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. So we are bootstrapping Cell so that we can start doing interesting things with it. And by interesting, I mean things like 2 plus 2 equals 4. And we were in the depths of implementing quotes. So we're not really writing a parser to convert from text to basically for data, which is our internal data format. Actually, not our internal data format. It's the format that we use in Cell to represent data, which is here. So you probably, for those already watching a few episodes, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. Just trying to provide some context for those arriving to this video first. So this is the data format. So basically it's text, and then from this text we get number, text, list, and hash. So we need to implement now the processing of the quotes. We're doing this within this function called the splitter. And so we did a few test cases yesterday, if I remember correctly. Let's see when, I think I even left it running. Yes, look at that. So that's really good. Oh, it's good. I will take it, let's say. So we're covering a lot of cases without quotes. Even if I remember correctly, I think these were all the cases that I wanted to cover without quotes. Good. So maybe we can do it like this. We could just do something like foo bar 1. What should this be? It should create foo bar 1. That is actually a good test case already. So we can do it like that. So when you find a quote, first of all, you need to make sure it doesn't have we define the escape of the quote, which is a single slash. Yeah. So, and then again, I'm thinking of when you can encounter this slash and quote. Actually, let's assume for now that the quotes are not escaped. We will do the escape quotes in a little bit. So we just take so what should we do? Basically, we need to match everything between if there's a quote, everything that has a quote that is surrounded by quotes. I'm not sure if I should do it with a regular expression or not. Here we dealt with indentation. Yeah, I'm thinking of the entire sequence of the splitter. By the way, I'm iterating lines here to see if because this has to be a straightforward way of doing this. That's what I'm thinking about. This one about the line has no data besides white space. Actually, we can do it before splitting it. This is a valid check. Yeah. Yeah, so that deals with the case where the line is empty. I'm sure I'll come up with a lot of other cases later. But I just want to get enough cases that overall the algorithm or the sequence will work, and then we can refine it a bit later. But like the idea about getting a good amount of test cases is that with a good amount of test cases, am I still recording? Yes. If I have a good amount of test cases, we can get the right shape, hopefully the first time that we implement it. So basically it will be like, at this stage, there can be two things. You can either have something starting with a quote or something not starting with a quote. So how do you know this? Oh yeah, because we cannot, there's a lot of things that should be forbidden. I wonder if, I'm starting to doubt whether I could do this without a proper lexer. Let's find out. Because for example, I cannot have something like, can I, like something like this? Look, something and a quote full. This is just wrong. An unescaped quote can only be at the beginning of something, right? Yeah. Quotes can only be at the beginning of element. Yeah. Unescaped, actually. Yeah. Yep. Unescaped quotes can only be at the beginning of an element. Something like that. And then I just can put the line. I can just wrap it in quotes here, which is going to be a bit confusing, but whatever, for now it's good. Okay, this syntax I'm using for the structure for the test cases is getting old with all these three things. I'm on the verge of changing it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have our first test case there. So I think I need to go token by token. So it's either the, like already processed the indentation if there was any. So now the next one. Is it a quote or not? If it's not a quote, I'm going to match. That's it. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Finally, it's clicking. So it's like, okay. Let's get the next element. It has to be something because the line length is not 0. There's one more character. So we get the next element, which is it's not a space, so I think I can, yeah, because here we dealt with the case with the space and it matches exactly. We did all of this stuff, so it's not a, so either it starts with a quote or it doesn't. Get next element, and we have to do it as a function because we can have local variables inside a function, and we can It's not recursive because we're going over text, right? But still, it's more convenient than putting it inside a while loop. So we can do the next element. So we're going to see if and we're going to work on the line. I wonder if modifying the line is such a good idea, because for error reporting purposes, no, it sucks. We need to keep a copy of the original line. So we could do that perhaps. We're going to line copy here, and just a mere reference will suffice in JavaScript because it's a string and a string is copied. That's a high level language right there. So here you can already see how we can use it. We could actually ignore, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. We could ignore empty lines. Completely. Perhaps like the trailing thing on a new line. Actually, no, let's not do that, because I want to keep more control and I don't want empty lines in the middle of a for data. Do I want that? Yeah, actually it would be practical to have that. There's going to be some sort of cleanup. There's going to be acceptable for data that is not going to be as strict as the one that is processed by cell, and that should be okay. I think that should be okay. So I was here. So we go now to the first character of the line. If it's a quote, then we deal with the case of the quote. If it's not a quote, we basically do something like if it has no quote, then the next space is the limit of it. Next is line slice from 0 to the line index of the space, and then we just and then this is we can do toNumber if number. So you can do it here, and we can do line. Where do we push things? We have a, I'm sorry, where do we have the abridged? That's what I was looking for. The abridged, which is going to be our output, really. I mean, we could just call it output, right? Why are we being so mean? And then we can do output here as well. Yep. Output push toNumber if number, then next element, and then we need to do line line replace next, which is where we just cut with nothing. Actually, let's just do it by slice. I never have the indexes right in slice. Never. I never remember them. I have to always do it empirically. If I do slice 3, it just chops off the first 3. Okay, so I should just chop off the first element, next length. Okay, and I'm not sure if this is correct either. So let's say have A, B, C, D, F, slice, or actually bar A, B, C, D, F. Yeah, sure. Slice from 0 to a index of space. Okay, it worked. Nice. Yeah, from 0 to that. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I need to make sure that when I design these functions in Cell, I'm going to remember the indexes. The assumption being that if I remember the indexes, you will remember the indexes too, and we will be happier. A little bit happier. Yes, so next we wrap this up, and then we can do a while here. While line length, get next element, something like this. It would be interesting to have a functional while. We can write this down so I don't forget it. It would be interesting to have a functional while loop that takes a function to execute. Yeah, why the hell not? Yeah. So I think this will push the little thing is how it should do it. And then we don't need to split anything. No, wait, we need to replace here +1 because we need to get rid of the next space. We can actually do we need to cover this case, which is if there's a space, double space or something like that. I'm checking whether we're replacing all white space. No, we're not replacing all white space. Okay, if we have tab stops screwing up stuff, we'll see it later. I don't want people to use tabs. We'll see, but I don't want to. So if there's a space, we can just return an error, which poses a problem. Now I'm tempted to lose the functional simply because I can just break out with a return. Let's do next like that. Sure. Return the line. So why did I put previous line? It's original line. My god, am I that tired? Probably. Sorry, I started too late today. I apologize. I should have started half an hour earlier, but I had pressing matters of state to attend to. The line has at least two spaces separating an element. Okay, and then you figure it out. Sure. Okay, so that's our breakout. So then if it doesn't start with a quote, let's go with the easy case first. Good. Keep on going. Otherwise, we go to the quote case. The quote case is there's two things. We need to go and match the next quote that doesn't have a slash before it, because that will be a literal quote. So how do we do that efficiently? So we do something like I can define the variable here. It doesn't matter. It's going to get hoisted to the top. Yeah. So you give me the next position of the quote. The next quote index is what happens when you don't write Alexa, kids. Don't do it. And I want to believe I'm almost done. Really. The next quote index is basically line slice 1, because I need to ignore the quote at the first position. Index of the quote. So if is -1, it means there's no matching and double end quote. So we can do something like we enter this multi-line mode of the quote, which is we put inside quote the text is true, and we push to buffer equals line slice 1, so this entire thing. Good. And we put a return because we're done here. I'll do it here so we don't think we're returning anything special from there. So we do that, and a return overrules the while as well, so we're good. This stuff is very useful, I have to say. This breaking out of the function, because if we have functional loops, you kind of lose that. So this way to break out to the outer. So we need that. I think it's gonna be mighty useful. Well, I think no, I see it's mighty useful right now in front of me. Otherwise I have to do this stuff where I have a, like we did in this, where I'm getting an error out of an iterator here, an iterator function, and no, it's not that one. The one with had an index. Did I dream this code? Maybe I just did it somewhere else during the day. Yeah, sorry, I think I did it somewhere else. But basically I was iterating one of these, and the output could be either an index or an error. And no, it's this one, I think. Oh, it's this one, sorry. It's the nested one. Okay. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah. No, I didn't dream it, it was here. But this stuff is a bit awkward. Anyway, wish list. Let's get something done. So then let's deal with the case where I'm jumping all over the place as usual, as I'm wont to do. But let's say we are inside the quoted text. We basically need to complete the quote. The problem with that, for inside quoted text, we need to push whatever line we have so far to the general output, because otherwise we're going to lose it. Yeah, so we push the output. Right? Yeah, we push the output. Lines, is it? Yeah. Push. Yeah, output. So we have it there, so that then when you're done with the quote, first of all, if you had like some intermediate things because you started without a long quote, then you already have that in output. We will deal with that in a minute. Well, actually, no, we already dealt it here. And then, so we have the push, and then, okay, so we go here. It's like we need to find the quotes. All of these are multi-line quotes, huh? So, okay, the logic is like this. Look, we find if we find a quote, we stop. Um, yeah, and it's imperative that I do this outside of this because I don't want that space to be confused. If there's a space in a new line there, I don't want it to be confused with a indentation. So if inside quote says, we can do something like if line index of but here I'm not even doing it right. This is gonna be pretty hairy, yeah, because I'm not considering the escape quotes. To do escape quotes. So if we have a quote here, if we don't have a quote, then we just do something like we're inside quote the text, so we do buffer. We keep on adding to it. Wait, do we really need buffer? No. We can just use the last element of lines. Yeah, we don't need that. Teishi last lines, and then the last of that. No, but it's a string. I cannot modify it directly. So here I'm accessing an array, so I can modify the array. So they have previous line, yeah, I have it here. Oh my god, what am I making such a... This one should be here, and this one here. If would be last previous line, which is the one we're still editing. Previous line length -1, and then I append the entire line because it's a literal. Actually, we could do something like this: replace any, look at this, any slash and quote. But then again, there's no quotes, dummy, so you cannot deal with this here. Just the line and be done. So we just do that. Otherwise, yes, so if next quote index is this, else, well, there's no else because I have a return, so it's an implicit else. What do I do now? Basically I have to do something like previous line. Yeah, it's gonna be ugly. Line slice from 0 to next quote index, I believe, because it excludes the quote. And I will do something like line slice next quote index. So yeah, so get rid of that, and then I need to keep on processing with this code that I have here with this while ld element per element, which makes again sense to do it in a function despite my earlier qualms about the return. So I can use it in two places because then I need to keep on doing the same thing, and I am not going to duplicate this code. It's already ugly enough to write it in one place, this code. I'm not going to write it in two places. This is pretty ugly code, I have to say, and I'm trying to understand why it's ugly, because I'm not sure if it's because I'm doing what a parser should be doing, or is there something else here. But anyway, it's a good warning I'm getting. So we're getting closer now. If we extract that function there again from the while, and we use it at the top and at the bottom, we have the multi-line quotes, and then we need to deal with the single line quotes and the escapes. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I think it's been already a long day and feel more tired than usual, but let's remember the sequence that brought us here. So we're going to have, I think I did an episode 16, splitter, or was it 17? So then we have the validation and the sorting plus the actual put. So I think I want to believe where the splitter is the hardest part by far, because the validation is really much more of a pure comparing things and less of this lexing and parsing of characters, and then the sorting even easier, and then the actual put. So I would like to get there soon by episode 21, 22. I want to have a working put so that we can actually have even more fun. Thank you for watching. Thanks for enduring. I'll see you next time.